I start this video with a recognition that all the matters that we are addressing in these videos are matters where people hold varying views, where they have different influences, experiences and different circumstances. And if the contents of this video don't apply to you directly, they will likely apply to somebody that you know and love. I recognise that these can be difficult things to talk about. But the aim of this video, whether you are part of the family at Connect Church or whether you're inquiring, is to help you understand how we see matters from what we as leaders of Connect Church regard as a biblical point of view and how we might work that out pastorally. It is not a detailed exploration of the topic. We have sought to arrive at positions and views based on Bible study, research and prayerful consideration, as opposed to going with the flow of public opinion or merely drawing upon our own or mainstream church traditions. The aim is not to just give a position and leave it there, but rather it is to foster prayer, consideration and conversations. We keep these things under review, and though the positions in this video are firmly arrived at and held, we are always willing to engage in conversation, to learn and to be corrected if we have got something wrong. And I want to reassure you that we deal pastorally with each person and their circumstances on an individual basis. We recognise also that there may be a need to have a different conversation, to have perhaps a different approach depending on somebody's age, their spiritual maturity and understanding. The topic of this video is gender and identity. As with a number of issues that we are seeking to address, we recognise that attitudes towards gender and identity have dramatically changed over time. This is also a very sensitive area where people are very vulnerable and where people have often faced much hurt and rejection in their lives. Genesis 1:27 begins that we are all made in the image of God and follows that he creates us male and female. Jesus affirms the creation account in Matthew chapter 19. As such, we see there being no biblical position for a third or other gender. From Genesis 1:27, we understand that being God's creation, being made in his image, is our principal identity. And our identity actually as men and women is secondary to that. Christians have the identity as a child of God. That's 1 John 3:1. All other identities are biblically in submission to this. Colossians 3:11 lists a number of identities that fall into this category, such as our race, our culture, our sex or status. We honour God when we put our identity as his child first. We recognise the need for people who identify in different ways for an individual and an appropriate pastoral approach. And we recognise that dealing with people in such circumstances is not always straightforward or easy for anyone. But our aim is always that at least people feel that they are seen, that they are heard and that they are treated respectfully and with dignity.